right, people, you guys know what it is. The one and the only, the American Troll Podcast. And today we will be talking about the Dodgers and the Pride Day they're having on June 16th. But before we do that, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel so we continue bringing the message and letting our voice be heard. Okay, with that being said, let's jump right into this. So this has been making headlines here for the last couple of weeks, and it has to do with the Pride Parade in Dodger Stadium. The thing is that it doesn't really have all that much to do with the actual Pride Parade at the Dodger Stadium. That's just a narrative that is spun in order to let the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence be re-invited. What happened was a few weeks back, the Dodgers looked at it and they disinvited the sisters, right? So the LGBT community got up in arms and do what they do best. They leverage. They will strong arm you into doing what they want done. And what they wanted done was to have the sisters re-invited. And sure enough, the Dodgers folded and re-invited the sisters, right? And the controversy with this is that the sisters are, if you look at it just at its face, it's mocking religion. It's mocking Catholics, Christians. It's having videos where they're having a half-naked man on a cross, and they're having another, pretty much drag guy on top of him, dancing over him, and just pretty much, something that some people will consider straight blasphemy against the religion. And it is. But the difference is that it's Christians and Catholics. So in today's America, that's absolutely fine. There's no repercussions for that. What I would like you to think of is, you think for 1 second that the sisters would be allowed to dress up as Hebrews and make fun of the Jewish religion, and actually mock the Jewish religion. 1 second. Borat the comedian, he does a bunch of skits and all kind of crazy stuff, and he did one about the Jewish community. He even got sued for this by the Jewish community. Now, could you imagine this guy right here walking up to Dodger Stadium, making fun of Jewish people and putting all the horrible stereotypes that are out there? It would never happen, and we all know this. So why is it okay for Dodger Stadium to allow the sisters to go out there and mock the Catholic religion? That is a fair question to ask, and that is something that I am asking here today. And if not that, let's say Islam. Do you think for 1 second that the sisters will be the sisters of Islam and they will be mocking Muhammad? We all know the answers to that. It's an absolute no. There is no way on God's green earth that would ever be allowed. One, the Jewish community will shut them down immediately. The Jewish community has too much real power. Real power isn't with the gun. Real power isn't on the streets. Real power is with the pen and the connections you have, and they have it. We all know this. Islam community, you already guys know what it is, man. They're not going for that kind of stuff. So my question to the Dodgers is, why is it okay for you to allow it on Christians and Catholics when the majority of your fans are, let's keep it 100, Christians and Catholics? The majority of the people in Dodger Stadium going and watching the games is Raza. They're the ones that are going and watching. But these are the same ones, that have baptisms, that actually, have catechisms, have their kids go to the church. And some people say, oh, well, the church did this. Church. Listen, that's not the discussion. Two wrongs don't make a right. To sit there and say, oh, well, the church this, the church that. No, you don't sit here and just disrespect entire community's religion to say, oh, but because we're being inclusive. That's not inclusive. That's being inclusive to the majority of your fans. And that is the reality of why people don't like stuff like this, right? Another thing that's going on is you also see the pride parades. Again, nobody really cares. No straight person, nobody's out there saying, oh man, they're having a pride parade, we gotta go shut it down. No, the problem is that you have stuff like this. You got grown men sexualized at these pride parades that are advertised as family friendly. What is family friendly about this? There is absolutely nothing family friendly about this. This is sexualizing of two grown ass men. If they want to do this behind closed doors, they want to do this in their house, in their home, no problem. But to go out and do it and say it's a family friendly event, that is the problem that a lot of just, common folk in America have with the LGBTQ community. It's like there is no line they can't cross. There's stuff that you're trying to have drags at schools. What is the point of having grown men dancing in front of children other than trying to groom them? I mean, really, what is it? Nobody's saying that drag shows shouldn't be allowed. Who cares? This is America. You can do what you want. But what is this infatuation with wanting to have grown men dancing in front of little kids? The only thing, like I said, it's like you're trying to groom them to say this is the absolute normal. That may be your normal in your home, and that is absolutely fine. But you can't sit here and start having children watch stuff like this, because they're going to go home and say, hey, mom and dad, what's going on over here? Hey, why is there two daddies? Hey, why is there two moms? That conversation should be left for the parent when the parent is ready to have that conversation. It shouldn't be up to schools to try to push it, because all that is, it's a sexual conversation. Because at the end of the day, what's different is sexuality. And me, I don't want my 6-year-old kid, when my daughter or my son were that young, to sit here and ask me about stuff like that when I was not ready myself to have that conversation of how mommy and daddy had you. But yet you want to push ideology on children because you think should be everybody's norm. We all have our standards of raising our kids. We all have our standards of what religion we follow. That is the beauty of America. But to sit here and try to push your ideology on people just because that is your norm, that may not be my norm, that may not be the next person's norm. And that's what we're trying to do, is have that conversation. But unfortunately, anytime somebody tries to have that conversation, they're going to try to scream you down. Say you're a homophobe, you're this, you're that. No, I'm a concerned parent. I'm a concerned grandparent that doesn't want sexualized stuff going on in front of my kids. And in 2023, that's almost frowned upon. That's almost looked at as if you're just a bigot. But no, that is just a tool that is used by the community to make people be silent. Anytime somebody speaks up, they'll try to cancel you. But the only way we can actually let our voices be heard is to give our opinions, not to shy away from the conversation, and definitely not to be bullied into thinking that grown men should be dancing naked in front of children or halfway naked in sexual type of dances. That's just not something that is healthy for children, man. And that's it. Other than that, you do what you want, Playboy. You want to do some freaky stuff in your room? That is your business. But don't push it on our kids, man. And that's all I'm saying. With that being said, leave a comment below whether you agree or disagree with me. Make sure to subscribe, share the channel, and I'm out.